So I thought I'd do something a little different today. I'm not really good at narrating videos like this, but yesterday, which is in this video, last night, I went outside. I just started watching the movie on Prime, I guess it was, Amazon Prime. And I realized I didn't put the chickens away. So I jumped up, put my shoes on, and I started to run outside. And there were 4 deer out there. Well, me running outside startled one of them completely away. And the other 3 stuck around. Now, right in the center of the screen, you should be able to see one of them. I didn't have a zoom. This is my GoPro. So I didn't get to zoom in on them or anything. But over there on the left, you might see just in the wood line, there's another one there. And then there's a third one that has wrapped around. So eventually we're going to get to see all of them. And this was really exciting. This is only the second time we've seen deer this close to the house. We've seen them several times out there in the wood line, out past the wood line there. So that one walked away. Well, then finally this one came out of the wood line. There is another one back there. Over there towards the left, you might be able to see moving behind my pile of metal. Just this side of the chicken coop. These 2 were very curious. I apologize for the dirty window. I'm filming this from inside my house. Literally, I can see outside my window from my desk this scenery. It's just so beautiful. So the window doesn't look that bad, to be honest, but the camera really picked up the dirt. So like I said, I was just finished making some popcorn. We were sitting down to watch the movie. It was actually movie Lincoln is what we were getting ready to watch. I haven't seen that in years. And I realized I didn't shut the chicken coop up. So I went down there. I also wanted to check the batteries, see if they needed charge, because as you can see, it's very cloudy. Of course, I did have to start the generator. There, I think what happened was one of the roosters must have crowed, and it startled them. These guys were really timid. They weren't that scared of me. I mean, obviously, I went out there, slammed the door shut, was getting ready to run off the porch, and there was 4 deer standing there. Now, the one that ran off the furthest, we never seen it come back, was right up here close to the house. I'm pointing to the screen like you can see it, but it was way up here. But I didn't see it come back. Now, earlier in the day, Carolyn was cooking, and they were out in the wood line, and she just kept cooking. I figured that would scare them away, but they were out there the whole time she was cooking. These guys don't seem to be that scared, which actually concerns me. This is going to be easy for some hunter to get them without a license. They'll just be able to walk right up to the porch. Now, we're getting ready to come to the end of the video of the deer here. I think we got another minute and 15 seconds. These guys started to walk away, and I'm trying in this scene here over on the right, you'll see one pop around. That one is the one that walked away a few moments ago. So they all kind of come back together. And then the one right in the center as they're passing, that one's going to walk off. Now, what I did was that once they got out of this scene here, they walked around the house. I had to shut it off. There was you couldn't see them out in the woods there. I eventually gave them some corn. They threw it out there. I was hoping they'd come in and eat it, but they didn't eat it. I was thinking that's probably why they were at the chicken coop, was to eat some corn. But sure was neat to see. Now, stick with me. I promise that I'll continue the video. So now it's the next day. It's 10 o'clock the next day. Sun's up. Beautiful day. So off my back porch, there's where the deer were last night. And I'll show you the window that I was poking out of. But as they wrapped around, they came around over here. They came up behind the house. I mentioned that in the video. And so they came up over this area. And I was thinking maybe I could get them to eat some corn. So I threw a little bit of corn out. right here, but it doesn't look like they came over here. The dust from the corn kind of wafted out towards them. I was hoping they would smell it, but they were right there, and nothing seemed to scare them. It was kind of neat. They weren't frightened at all. Last year I showed you, and it's probably covered up with snow, I'd show you again, that somebody poached a deer, and it ran into our property over on the other side of the creek over there, and it stunk. I had a hard time finding it. It was in the middle of summer. Boy, it stank. But I finally found it. Now it's just a skull and some bones. I leave it there just as I don't know. I don't know why I leave it there, but I just leave it there. I always see it when I go back there. Oh, so you'll see here, this is the window that I was filming out of. Right now I got a towel in front of the window so the sun doesn't blast me. It gets pretty hot in there when the stove's on. So my desk sits right here, right underneath the window. So I get to look out at the beautiful wood line. I'll turn around, beautiful wood line. It's just amazing. And the nice thing is the sun comes up in the east, which is this direction. So it comes up and I get to see that sun come up over the horizon, just above the trees. Man, I tell you, this is just about as close as heaven you can get while alive and I can afford. I'm sure that if I had a lakefront property or something, that would even be better, but I sure do like this place. It still needs a lot of work, I know it does. Even if I never get it done, it's just perfect. So I'm gonna feed the chickens here. So I'm gonna feed the chickens some corn. Again, I'm not letting them out anymore for a while until this bird flu thing is over, because I don't want to spread any bird flu droppings into their chicken run. So here's all the deer tracks that you saw them bouncing around at. Sure was neat to see. I don't know why I'm so excited about this. I'm sure in video y'all got bored and are like, okay, let's move on to something else. Let's see some activities. But I don't do that very often. Last year I took some animals that we trapped, raccoons, and I guess it was just raccoons we trapped, and I filmed them and I took them over to the water, or over to the conservation area by the river, and those videos didn't do well. So I'm kind of hoping this one does. The thing is I've lived in Missouri most of my life, with few exceptions. Till I was 10 years old, I lived in the east side of Missouri, and my father's side of the family lived there their entire lives. So at 10 years old, Mom moved to mid-Missouri. I was there for a while, and then back to East Missouri. Then as an adult, I lived in mid-Missouri, just a few miles north of Mom, for 10 years. Then I moved back to East Missouri. So I just kind of bounced back from East Missouri to mid-Missouri most of my life. Now, I said a few exceptions. I was in the military, so I went to Washington for 4 years. Was in Iowa for a couple of years for a job. Well, this is the furthest south that I've ever lived here. Southwestern, I guess you would call it. This area is the largest population of deer I've ever seen in an area. It's incredible, and how tame they are. So you saw, they were up here by the house. I mean, they looked up at the window several times. They saw that we were at the window. I stepped out, and only one of them ran away. Two of them ran to the tree line, and then one of them stayed up here, but they all came back out. Very tame. A while back, I was telling you that there were some eagles eating a dead deer across the road over there, but I wasn't able to film it because it would have given away my location. A few days later, we drove by that area again, and there was a field just full of deer right next to the gravel road. I mean, just full of deer. So Carolyn and I just kind of crept down the road because we wanted to see the eagles. They were there again. So we saw the eagles, and then we saw the deer. So we thought, well, we've never been down this far. Let's go check it out. So we drove down there and we just crept down the road, just foot off the gas on the truck drive, and those deer hopped back and forth on the road, just back and forth. I was actually afraid they would hit the truck, not me hitting them, but them hit the truck. They were not scared of that truck at all. Knowing that someone has poached deer around here, that as friendly as these deer are, they would get slaughtered pretty quickly. But there's a lot of them. Go to Dollar General, just a few miles down the road. It's out in the middle of a field. There's nothing around it, nothing. And there's deer there all the time at night. Well, I say night, it's 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And they're right there by the store. Now there's customers going in and out of the store, cars driving up and down the road. Don't seem to bother them. Now I will admit there are a lot of deer that are killed on the road, up and down this road, a lot. Now, a lot of people are concerned that the deer are going to eat the corn that we raise. And there's a lot of methods that you can use to keep deer away. I've grown corn in the past. My grandparents grew corn, my parents grew corn. Now, my dad always used a radio, and I've showed you that I have a solar-powered radio that we're going to use. It's waterproof, it's outdoor. I also got that little squealer that I've been using as an alarm, and it activates when something gets in front of it. I went ahead and got another one of those. Amazon didn't have it the last time, so I went ahead and got it from Walmart. Walmart's got it. But it squeals real loud when something walks in front of it, so that'll keep the deer out also. So if you'll click onto this up next box, I'd appreciate it. Take you over my other channel. Check out a funny video. I hope I can inspire you to buy your little piece of heaven right here on earth. Thanks for watching.